I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops at Great Millstone who labor night and day, making sure that the 144,000 hopeful elect are well fed. Shalom to all the brothers that's in GMS, Great Millstone, that's out there on the highways and hedges, making videos, getting this word out for the hopeful elect. Shalom. We're going to make this a, very fast lesson, but God willing that it's edifying. We're only going to bring out one verse and try to dissect it the best that we can. God willing. It's right here. And the gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. So, a lot of people think when they think about the whole world, they think about the entire world. But if you have been following this page and this ministry and have been following Great Millstone, when it talks about the world, it's not talking about the whole entire world. It's not. And as it's brought out in John 3:16, that says that the Father loved the whole world. He gave his only begotten Son, and that is Yahweh Shai. But if you read verse 14 before 3:16, it talks about Moses and the brass serpent that was mentioned in the book of Numbers, chapter 21, verse 9. And it mentions that same brass serpent that bit the Israelites that was in the wilderness. So that is the world that is talking about, the bloodline of the Israelites. All right? So it's talking about that. That is the world that is talking about when it's mentioned here. When it says mention, where it says preach in all the world as a witness to all the nations. The nations is not talking about the nations of people. All right? Because we have to remember that this gospel in this book is for Israel and Israel only. It's not for any other nations. All right? So when you look up the word nations, as I brought out in another video not too long ago, a country considered as a body of people united by common descent, history, culture, or language, inhabited a particular area or territory. So this is showing you that this is talking about a particular people. And these are definitions. And when you look at the definition also of world, the earth together with all its countries, people, and natural features. When you talk about the natural feature, all right, features, those natural features will be of the Israelites, God's holy people. It's not talking about the features of all the nations that are non-Israelites. This is only talking about the features of Israelite descendants coming from the bloodline of Abraham. Abraham did not father the whole earth, as some people may think. He only fathered the bloodline of the Israelites. So when you look at Matthew 24:14, that brings out the nations. And it says, and then the end will come. See, people have been preaching this whole narrative of Jesus and saying that the end will come. And we have been seeing that that has not happened. They have been preaching this whole Jesus thing for centuries, and the end has not come. The prophecies has not been coming out, and people have not been bringing out these prophecies correctly. Here at Great Millstone, we have been bringing out the prophecies correctly, warning you about the MOTB, warning you about the things to come, the wars, the race wars, We are here warning you. But this is for the elect. This is for the house of Israel, the house of mourning. This is for those that have been so low, putting down. This is for those people. Those are of the true Israelites. Not the ones that say that they are of the Israelites, but they are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So I hope that this message finds you very well, and hope that is edifying, because this is one of the scriptures that I have heard all my life. Matthew 24:14. Matthew 24:14. And a lot of evangelists use this verse. A lot of religions use this verse. They use it to show, well, this is why we're out here trying to preach to all men of all nations. No. This is for preaching to the hopeful elect, the true bloodline that was promised the birthright. This is for those people, not for everybody on the earth that should have dibs at the kingdom, because the kingdom is only for the meek, only for the bloodline of Israel, the true people that is spoken of, and God, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, holy word, not for all man of all different nations that are non-Israelites to partake in. And this is why we have these problems. So when you read Matthew 24:14 and the gospel of the kingdom, that is the word of this kingdom, will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come. That's why this word was not preached about salvation for the Israelites 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago. And when you look at how some of these Bibles that went back to 1611, this word is talking about now, the time of the end, the time that this work will never be done again. Being out on the highways and hedges, out on the street corners, making videos. This work will not be done again. Not like this. This word will be passed down through generation to generation, how all things came about. But this work will not be done again as it's being done. So when you hear Matthew 24:14, know that it is talking about the Israelites, God's true children. So I hope this message, this video was edifying to all the house of mourning of the Israelites, the true Israelites, the so-called black, the so-called Native American Indians, and the so-called Hispanics. Shalom.